Hey everybody, it's Andrew Ainsworth Golf Academy. As always, very warm welcome. Stay tuned. I've got the new Ping I59 iron. Let me tell you all about it. So welcome to the video everybody, good to see you, good to be here today. Always exciting when we get some new product to try out. So this is the Ping I59, it was released a couple of days ago. All the big YouTubers, boys and girls have already posted their videos. I'm always a little bit late to the party because they get sent the clubs way in advance and then launch the videos sort of on the embargo date. So I have to wait for my fitting club to arrive before I can do the video, which is fine. Only right that the big people get the product early. I have no problem with that. So the I59, let's tell you a little bit about it. This is not going to be like a full tech spec review because, to be quite honest, it's a bit boring, isn't it? If you want to find out all about the club, just jump on the website. We will have a quick scan through it and just give you the sort of the bullet points of what this club's all about. So let's just jump onto their website and look at what they're saying. Crisp, consistent impact, solid feel, flighty trajectory of added forgiveness are the result of an aerospace grade aluminum, or is it aluminium, insert. Alumacore joined to forge 1025 carbon steel body. So what's in a 17.4 stainless steel laser cut face. So the first interesting point about this club, although it says forged on the back, the face isn't forged, which when I first found out about it, I thought that's a bit odd. Why have a forged body but no forged face? So obviously Ping have designed this club from scratch and they've tested it to death and found that this 17.4 stainless steel laser cut face delivers better performance. Let's just scroll down onto one of the graphics here and you can see this Alumacore technology and you can see how it's put together. 30 grams of material from the center of the club to be redistributed to perimeter. So when you start to put weight more around the perimeter of a golf club, you basically start to make it more forgiving. It improves this MOI, the big buzzword is moment of inertia, resistance to twisting, all that sort of stuff. Basically just easier to hit. We'll talk about that in a minute. Micromax mill grooves, more grooves on the face, precision machined, tour preferred styling, thin top lines, proper offsets, streamlined look. This Hydra Pearl finish, which we've seen on quite a few models now, which gives better performance in the wet and the dry. The higher MOI is achieved by this toe and tip weighting, which elevates the MOI to reduce the stat area. I don't know what the stat area is, to be honest. The dead area or not the sweet spot area, and achieve a level of forgiveness unprecedented in the forged design. Yeah. There we go, stock shafts. The shaft that I've got fitted here is the low launching Project X LS, low spin steel. Comes in stiff and comes in extra stiff. There are lots of other shaft options available. That's a quick run through of the spec. Been some overhead pictures going on while I've been chatting there. The first thing to say about it, it is a great looking golf club. I mean, it has this thin top edge, a minimal offset, small blade. Here's the interesting one. This has basically replaced iBlade. Now iBlade has been in Ping's range. It's either 4 or 5 seasons it's been in there. And I sell a lot of Ping equipment. I do a lot of custom fitting. Most of my, 50% of my business in custom fit comes from Ping. And I do Cobra, Mizuno and a couple of other bits and pieces, but most of my business in custom fit is Ping. Now in those 4 or 5 seasons that iBlade was out, I only sold one set. I've never sold a set of blueprint irons. The blueprint is the smaller headed club. So this club here, from a commercial perspective for me, I think of this club slightly differently to how a lot of the YouTubers have put their videos up. I'm kind of on the coal face as it was. I'm selling clubs, custom fitting day in, day out. A lot of the guys who are doing YouTube are what we'd call influencers. You know, they're not actually in the business of working in shops these days and custom fitting you the public for clubs. So they don't really have a feel, in my opinion, as to what sells and what doesn't. And I've watched a couple of these reviews and they're all brilliant, aren't they? I mean, they're all super slick in their production. And I'm a big fan of a lot of the big YouTubers, but for them to say that this is the best club, some of them are saying this is the best club this year, this is going to be like the best club produced. Question would be for who? Because this club is very niche. I'll hit some balls of it a little bit later. Vast majority of my customers who come in for a fitting are playing off about an average handicap of 16, 17, 18 handicap. And to be very honest, if I put this club in the hands of some of my customers, they'd scare them to death. They'd put that down and think, oh my goodness, I can't hit that, that's so small. Now, we know this is forgiving, or more forgiving than it looks, but this is still a player's club. And this is where things get contentious. This is where people will reply, quite rightly so. Let's have a discussion about it. That there's two schools of thought. I've mentioned this in many videos. Some people will say that if you use a club which is a smaller sweet spot and less offset on it, it'll make you a better ball striker. Personally, I don't subscribe to that view. I think that's rubbish, quite frankly, which will get a few comments, which is fine. I think golf is a difficult game at the best of times. So why use a club that's going to make it more difficult if you're not a great ball striker? Will this club make me a better ball striker? No, it won't. So, you know, if you're not a really good ball striker, then I don't think this club's going to help your game as good as it looks. You'd be far better off using something like a Ping G425, or if you're looking for a forged feel, there's plenty of cavity back clubs on the market which will give you that feel. So I do think that this club will suit tour players, lots of guys on tour using it, elite amateur golfers playing off scratch or plus handicaps, or low single figure golfers who are really good ball strikers. If you're playing off 18 and you can't find the middle of the club consistently, this club will not help you. That is my own personal opinion, and I'm sticking with it. I'd be very interested to see what you guys and girls think about that statement. What else can we say about it? Before we go and hit it, price. The retail recommended price in the UK for this club per club is £239. That's the recommended retail. Now, nobody sells golf clubs at recommended retail prices anymore. This will have a street value, a market value, I would say, of £200 a club. So, you know, do the math. 7 clubs, say 4 to pitching wedge, you're going to spend £1,400. I'll put the dollar conversion up, whatever that is today. That's a big chunk of change, £1,400. It's a lot of money for a set of golf clubs. You know, you're going to come into lots of other forged players' irons, which are not as obviously as expensive and more expensive. But, you know, set of Mizuno irons, set of MP20s, you know, probably looking at £1,100 to £1,200, a couple £100 cheaper. So it's an interesting market. Will I be selling lots of this club? Very much doubt it. I doubt that people are going to be banging on my door queuing up for this club, as good as it is. I'm not knocking the product. I think it's a tremendous product. I love the iron myself, but for me, it's just not going to be a big seller. So, but it's nice to have in the range, and we're going to hit it and see how it performs. Let's have a few hits with this Ping I59. As I said earlier, I've got this fitted with the Project X LS low spin. It's a 6.0, 120 gram shaft. It's a black dot, standard length, standard lie, and I'm going in cold with this. I have not hit many warm-up shots here. I haven't hit any warm-up shots, so this could be interesting. Have a little look at the overhead behind this. When the ball's there, there's not a lot of spare club. Let's hit a couple. Just tugged that one a little bit, just turned it over. My customary first shot of the day really is a little bit of a pull. We'll have a quick look at the numbers. Although it missed the green left, let's just see what we're getting, just as a sort of a little flavour. Well, it was a centre strike, which wasn't bad. Usual path too much from in to out with the club face closing, which is why the ball went left. 83 miles an hour club speed. Lofts of these I didn't tell you about. Very honest players' lofts. 34 degrees on the 7 iron, 46 on the pitching wedge, and clubs are obviously not cut too long. They're all sort of fairly standard lengths. Backspin rate there of just under 5,000. Expected a little bit more backspin out of that. Could have been the strike. I'm using Bridgestone balls, which are quite spinny. Let's see if we can do better. Poor strike, a little bit off the bottom of the club. Could really feel that was not a good strike. That was bottom groovy. And this is kind of what I mean about sort of players' irons. And you know, not blowing my own trumpet, but I'm not a bad ball striker, although I don't play a lot of golf these days. That was bottom groove, as you can see. The distance bleed off now, I'm bleeding down to 142. Launch angles drop because of the strike location. So I have middled one, I just pulled the first one. Let's see if we can get one on target. That's better. That's hit target. It's very, for me, this is my own personal opinion, and this is what this is all about. It's all about what I think of this club, not what it would do for you. These clubs, for me personally, are hard work. I would have to be, here we go, now there's spin rates coming up. So we're spinning it now at 6,300. That's more what I've expected. 144 yards of carry from 83 miles an hour of club speed, ball speed of 106. I would have to be really on my game striking to use this club. And I say I play very little golf and I don't practice much these days. So if I had a 4-iron in my hands in one of these, I'd be scared to death, to be quite honest. I would be all over the shop with it. But for someone who's a much more talented golfer than I am, then I think these would probably be amazing golf clubs. Well, that's a good strike. Just pulled it a little bit, but that was more middled. And there's no doubt, you know, the feedback off the club, the feel off the club, if you're into that sort of thing, is excellent. You know, you can tell exactly where you've hit it. The sound acoustically is marvellous. Slight low centre strike there. You can see now that the club speed was actually lower than the last one, but it was a better strike, so the carry distance has come up 10 yards. And this is what I mean about the bleed off on distance. There's a good 10-yard margin there. It's a fantastic club. People might think I'm giving this a negative review. I'm not giving it a negative review. I'm giving it a very positive review. For the right sort of golfer, this is tremendous. They will absolutely love it. But, and here's the big but, if your ball striking is not that consistent or not that good, this isn't going to help your game. This will probably make you play worse than better. Now people will come back and say, yeah, but a club like this will make you play better ball striking. Maybe. Who am I to say that's wrong? So there we go. It's the Ping I59 forged. It's a player's club. I'll be very interested to see what your comments are on my video today. It's not for everybody, but for some golfers, they're going to love it, as I keep repeating myself. So thanks for watching the video. I've enjoyed doing it. I don't think I'll be going. I have a set of S56 irons, which this is one of the predecessors, and I find the S56 bizarrely a little bit more forgiving to hit than this one. Now, is that because I'm just used to the iron? Maybe, I don't know. But it's lovely, it's beautiful, and I'm glad I've been able to review it. Thanks for watching. If you're new to the channel, maybe hit that subscribe button, and if you think the video is any good, give it one of those thumbs ups for me. Thanks again. I'll see you all again soon. Bye for now.